Good morning, Giants. Going to talk today about the concept of goal reaching, ICCAA. It's a concept that I wrote about in my book, The Art of Accomplishment. Again, I'll push that book as many times as I need to till you go grab it, read it. It's short. It is on Audible, and so I'd go grab it there as well, or you can get it on Kindle for a few bucks. But the ICCAA, so the reason I came up with that idea is I wanted to clarify the path for identifying our goals and reaching them and what it takes to actually reach a goal. And so the first step in there, the I is for identify, C is clarify, the other C is commit, the A is to act, and then the final is to adjust. So identify, clarify, commit, act, and adjust. So as you're looking at what you want to accomplish, the first thing you want to do is decide, what do I want to do? What do I want to create? For me right now, I've identified that the book, The Giants and the Smalls, The Adventure of Remy Ritt, is what I want to focus on. That's the goal I want to create. And so what I want to do next is clarify what that goal looks like and what are some of the steps that I could take to create that. And so you don't have to have all the steps in mind. When you decide, Steve Chandler said that it's not about the how to, it's about the want to. So once you want to do something, so when you decide you want to do something, then the how to kind of shows up. There really are myriad ways that you can get from point A to point B or Z or wherever you're going. There isn't always a straight line over to B. So what you want to do is look at all the possibilities that are available to you to act on that goal. And so the next step is to commit. So the word commit means to do. So if you're not doing something, you're not committed. So if you say I'm committed to something and you're not doing it, you're lying to yourself. The reality is that to commit, like committing a crime, to commit is to do. And so the next step in there is once you identify the goal, you clarify some paths you could take to reach that goal, then you commit. You go start doing and being and reaching that goal. Now that's where the action comes in. So you act on it and you take action, and that's where you start to see where you can adjust. And so, for example, with the book, The Giants and the Smalls, we've been taking steps and seeing with Facebook ads, for example, things that work and things that don't work, going from $1.80 a click down to 35 cents a click. So that takes adjustment. If you're not willing to adjust, then you're just going to keep doing the same thing and you're not going to go to your destination. So I like the analogy of the bow and arrow, that when you first pick up a bow and arrow and you shoot it, what a lot of people do is if they miss the target, they're like, this is stupid. I'm not doing this anymore. They throw down the bow and arrow. They're done. Like, this is ridiculous. Who invented this dumbass bow and arrow? Like, how does this even work? Well, the person that wins, what they do is they see, well, I was off and I did this, so I'm going to make an adjustment. And they'll shoot again, and this time, instead of being a mile off, they might be a little closer to the target. And they'll pick up and they'll shoot again and they'll adjust and they'll get closer and closer and closer. And then eventually they're hitting the target and they're hitting it every time. And then they're hitting the bullseye and they're hitting it every time. And they're like, this is fun, but it's not fun enough. Let me stretch. So they'll move the target. They'll move it out further or in a different way so that they can adjust again. And so that's how you win. If you have a failure and you quit and you throw everything down and you say, that's it, I'm out, then you're going to lose. And so what you need to do is you need to pick up and adjust and act. Act and adjust, act and adjust, act and adjust until you're hitting your goals. And so when you identify your goal and you clarify some paths you can take and you commit to doing it and you go out and you take those actions and you see that they're not working and you adjust them, then you start to align with your goal and you start to reach your goal. Now, whenever I start something new, and I say this throughout my book and all over, this kind of a coined phrase here is, to get what you want out of life, you've got to be willing to suck at something long enough to get it, to get good at it. And so the challenge is that most of us are unwilling to suck at something long enough to get good at it. We want to go from A to B and be a champion and a pro without all the struggle. So part of reaching your goal is suffering. The word passion means to suffer. You're willing to suffer through something. Thank you, Richard Paul Evans, for that coin there. You suffer through it to reach it. And if you're not willing to suffer for it and you're not doing it, you're not committed to it. And you're not going to reach it. I'll tell you that. And so whatever it is you want to create, you want to identify it, clarify it, commit to it, act on it, and adjust. And in doing that, you're going to get better and better and better. And eventually you're going to reach your goal. So I hope that's helpful today. I want you to just think of ways that you can identify your goals, clarify the path as much as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Commit to doing it. That means you're doing it. Act on it and adjust. So let me know your comments below. If you like the video, share it, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.